People ask me about Alaska and what I love about it. I guess the best way I can sum up Alaska to me is it's one of the few places that we really haven't screwed up yet. Amazingly wild, amazing ecosystems, amazing animals. Welcome to Alaska. My first trip to Alaska was alone in 2007, fly fishing. And that very first night, I walk into a river alone. I'm seeing various bear tracks, moose tracks. I'm looking at fish the size of my leg. And two wolves chasing each other ran in, go into the creek next to me, like stopped, realized I was there, realized they were there. They just looked at me and kept going. And I was just like, wow, welcome to Alaska. And since then, Dad and I made multiple trips to Alaska, but we'd never ever been to Kodiak Island. And we kept saying, well, when are we gonna go to Kodiak, do something on Kodiak, whether it be fishing or hunting? And I kept hearing from friends and about the Sitka Blacktail hunting on Kodiak Island. So, did a little research, kept hearing the Nilchik charters names popping up, so got a hold of the Nilchik. What the Nilchik does is, it's basically boat assisted, so they're transporter, they're not a guide service. You basically live on a boat, they'll drive you around. Welcome aboard! They drop you on shore every morning at your point of choosing, and you hunt all day on your own, and then you radio and they'll come and they'll pick you up on the beach and bring you back to the boat. All that was pretty appealing, so that's how it came together, late November, and Alaska. I mean, it was like, here's the chance. It's been a long couple days of travel, but we were able to get on the charter plane, get to Larsen Bay, get on a boat, and here we are on the water. So we're just gonna spend the first evening just fishing. We got a beautiful sunset. We got snow-capped mountains around us. Seen otters already, seagulls. We're in Alaska, and we got deer on those mountains somewhere. So we'll get out in the morning and see what we can't have happening and try to get some first Sitka Blacktail. Muzzles to the left. First day, it was cold. It was cold and snowy, and right after first light, we motored into a beach, and we dropped Dad kind of in a view of a couple beaches, and I just started doing a scout. That's a big kelp bed if they're coming down to feed on the beach. So I say, with the wind pretty much blowing off into the ocean, I'd say, let's go over onto that grassy bench by the kelp. We can sit there for a little bit, see how we feel temperature-wise. So I'll go over to this kelp edge, look for sign and droppings. He went in right there. That's a cool start. Little souvenir. The first antler I touch on Kodiak was one that was left by a pretty nice black. It's 11:50. So if you want to eat your lunch, let's go have a looky look. Sun's coming out. This is what we're hoping the deer are coming to eat. It's fresh kelp. That first day, we did a lot of scouting, saw a lot of sign. You see sign all over, but didn't see a deer at all. And Dad, I think he spent over 8 hours in, 32-degree rain and snow, which if you've been in that cold, kind of wet coastal field, that's a long, hard sit. I always figure you got 2 to 3 days of just figuring it out, where game is, what the terrain is like, what you're physically feeling like you're capable of doing, how far you can get. Often it's a matter of finding the elevation where they're at. It's not so much their home range, it's where they're feeding or finding comfort or finding food. You two, we're gonna head, Dad's gonna go over there, sit those logs. We're gonna head up. Up. Some prints here. You've heard me talk about the 3 principles to be a successful hunter, and it's those 3 things to focus on. It's where's the animal sleeping, so where's it comfortable, and then what is it eating, so where's it finding food, where's it finding water, and then that last factor is it the rut, and are they being driven by mating instinct? It's doe. Straight ahead of us. There's 2 like dead bushes, 50 yards above us, 100 yards in front. She's behind them. As the week kind of progressed, it kind of, okay, well, we gotta go higher, we gotta go higher, we gotta go higher. And a few days into all this climbing, and I mean some steep, rough country, having to plow through willows and through brush, and put the head down and just, it sucks, and you just gotta just deal with it. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty fresh rub with Sitka Blacktail. Hopefully we can find one of these jokers. It's been really tough hunting so far. It's day 3. All we've seen is does, and they were up at around 800 to 1,000 feet. We can see this buck any second. We were up in the snow line at this point and actually could track deer. And we cut a couple tracks of clearly a buck running a doe. And I was getting all excited. I'm like, okay, all right, there's a buck here. He's on this mountaintop. He's on this ridge line. He's chasing a doe, and followed him for quite a while. All they come up on was a spike, but I know there was a good buck up there. We couldn't catch up to him. Pretty cool to find track. Sucks to lose him. Home base ready for pickup on the beach. Over. He's coming. We're into the 3rd day here on Kodiak, and it's not quite working out as planned. We're not seeing deer down low on the beaches. Unfortunately, Dad can't get high, so not getting to spend much time with him and not seeing deer, so I don't know what to do. You always have that debate, you've already been to one area. Do you want to go back and just kind of learn it more, or do you need that reset and just go find a whole new spot? And that's a roll of the dice, and that's what I love about hunting, is those decisions. Ultimately, those decisions you make, do I go left or right of the trail fork? Do I climb high or stay low? Do I sit here or do I move? Do I go to this bay or that bay? Those are all decisions that your hunt lives by. There's no do-overs. It's all responsibility of your decisions. Finally, we get a weather forecast, we get a wind forecast that we think is going to allow us to get out to more, what would likely be a less pressured, hopefully better game area. So we make a run for it. Last night here on Kodiak. The weather's all week and there's other challenges. It certainly hasn't panned out as I'd hoped. The mountain we climbed is way over there. And we're gonna do a long hike till dark and see if we can't get a shot at something. This is hunting. We're in Alaska. We got one night to try to make something happen. We'll see what happens. Once we were able to get up onto the bluff, we saw a smaller buck. We tried to make a move on him, kind of lost him in the grass, and eventually he moved back into the willows and we lost him. And so we kind of start skirting this really grassy, kind of benchy, right along the coastline. We're just overlooking this beautiful beach. And just as we're kind of cresting this knoll, I just hear Jameson say, he's looking at us. Hit him. I think he dropped in his tracks. Accurate, deadly, dependable. Last day. Just put him down. Last stalk. Hopefully he fell right where I think he fell. And doesn't get up, but I'm ready if he does. Let's get a buck to the beach. How you doing, pal? Look at that. Sitka Blacktail deer, Kodiak Island. We've put in a lot of effort this week. The weather hasn't really cooperated. We've had rainy days, snow, but a lot of winds kept us where we wanted to go. But last evening, we kind of risked the Zodiac trip into a different spot. And here was this guy bedded with a doe. Gave me just enough time to shoot. Woodchuck, the gray squirrel, the rabbit is in the hole. Repeat, the rabbit is in the hole. Tenderloins tonight, baby.
That's what we like to hear. Let us know when you are ready for pickup. Over.
Roger. We finally got the weather we wanted. We finally got the winds we wanted. We finally got to see a nice mature buck. And I looked back on all the climbing we did, all the hard work we did to have it come together last day. I hate it when that happens because it's super stressful to me, but it's also, hey, it is how it happens sometimes. Just shot. Finally last night got a nice buck. Back to the boat. And there's
Let it run.
big halibut on the line.
Johnny here.
Literally, we're throwing the deer out of the Zodiac into the back of the boat, and then picking up a fishing rod and reeling in a big halibut, and it's just kind of chaos on this last evening, but the kind of chaos you want. And then it was great. It was, spending the evening. I was back in the meat cleaning area, hanging the deer and getting it processed, breaking it down. We had to fly the next day, so we had halibut to fill the coolers. We had venison from Sitka Blacktail to fill the coolers. What more do you want? We went to Alaska, spent time together. We had an adventure, and would I go back and do it again? Absolutely.
This is something Damon started as a tradition in us years ago.
Catch the big fish, you gotta drink from the big fishki. Throw a little back in the river. So today Dad caught his first halibut. I got a buck and another halibut. So it's surf and turf tonight. Hey, we got a plate full of halibut. We got a plate full of venison. We got a deer hanging in the back of the boat. I'll be up all night processing that before the flight home. Alaskan adventures.